Hey there, Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon, Scorpio Rising. It's Maggie. Welcome to Moon Directed. Here we work with energy to see how we can best utilize it to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. We're going to take a look at the energy for the week of March 1st through the 7th. You know, as slow as 2020 was, 2021 is picking it up, right? It's picking up speed. Right now we have all of the planets are moving forward, and this month is going to kind of click along, but it's going to click along with some really beautiful energy. We now have Venus hanging out in Mars for most of the month, so let's live it up while we can, right? You should be able to get a lot of things done this whole month coming up. But let's talk about this week and what's happening. I want to get some overall energy for you. If you could take just a second and hit that thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. Let's YouTube know that people enjoy my videos. Okay, Scorpio. Whoa, okay. So you have some really interesting overall energy. I generally don't read these in the reverse, but it kind of feels like it might be an energy that's being held back. So we have the overall energy of the Lovers, and we have the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands was in reverse. And so when the Ace of Wands is in reverse, but we have the Lovers here. I almost feel like there's an idea. There's a something that you want to ignite, something you want to like strike the match, because that's what I'm saying. I'm seeing someone strike the match, but they're holding the match and they're not striking it yet. And so I feel like there is a delay because you're still weighing out what the options are. Now the Lovers generally means that there is a choice that is going to affect the people in your life that matter the most. It is a big choice. We do have Mars moving into Gemini on Wednesday, and the Lovers is and the Lovers is a Gemini card, and this has that energy of Mars, you know, that heat, so I feel like you're coming close to making some kind of a decision, to kind of making some kind of a choice and kind of striking the match and heading out in some kind of a direction this week. And so that is some really great energy. When we get to the end of the reading, we'll go back. I'm using the Light Seers Tarot, and they have great affirmations, and we'll get into what those are for that. But let's go ahead and see what else is going on. Okay, so we're going to start off this week. Sometimes, in order to get enough light, I can't turn that down too far. Okay, so this week we've got, starting the week with the moon in the relationship house of Libra. Now this is a really great day to start working on the next steps and the plans that you planted the seeds of intention for back when you had that new moon in Aquarius back on February 11th. We've gone through the cycle of that full moon that was happening just Saturday on the 27th, where we were releasing things that we feel ashamed of. Okay, how do I put this better? That full moon was about releasing the feelings of shame and guilt. Shame and guilt have no place guilt is something that we have assigned to ourselves, or we allow others to assign to us, and shame is also those kinds of feelings, and it's because we're being judged by others, or we think we're being judged. And a lot of times we think we're being judged, but we're probably not being judged, because most people have their own crap to worry about, right? And those that are judging you, remember, they are doing this through the lens of their own sense of insecurities or trauma or childhood issues. And so when we can understand and release that, that's when we find the balance. And so this is a great day to start finding your balance. This energy that's going on this week about your belief systems and that works towards your soul growth, this is about regaining your balance and remembering that you are allowed and in fact encouraged. I just heard you are encouraged to find what is joyful in your life and to open yourself up and to step through that doorway into what brings you the happiness. So when you make this choice, make sure you're picking something that's going to spark you up, that's going to allow you to feel joy and happiness. You have renewing your life. It says radiant vitality is filling my life. This is getting rid of that emotional clutter that has no place, no space, unless you give it to it. So don't, right? Push that stuff over the edge of the cliff. Let it go. I'm sorry, I'm taking off my booties if you wonder what I'm doing. I can't seem to regulate the temperature up here. Everybody turns up their heat. So here we go. We're going to move on to Tuesday. So on Tuesday, the moon is going to square Pluto at 9:09 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time in the U.S. Oh, Standard Time, sorry. Daylight isn't until the end of the week. And so we've got this moon is going to be in an uncomfortable angle also with Uranus over in Taurus at the same time. And so this energy is kind of, really important. This is really great for how are you going to transform your life? And what are you going to let go of? And how are you going to choose to ground yourself and make the changes that create stability in your life? And part of that, so Mars in Taurus is often like that tower energy, right? And so when I see this guy pushing the clutter over the cliff, this could be a tower moment that you enact on somebody over the course of the next couple of days, so that you are picking you and doing what is important to you, what lights you up. The moon is going to move into Scorpio. We'll take that one at and this one too, at 3:38 p.m. on Tuesday. And this moon in Scorpio is always a time of self-reflection, but this is actually this phase of the moon too. And so this is where you look into the pool of your life, you recognize the choices that you've made and how they've played out, but she's in the emotions, but her head isn't. So there's an analytical quality to that, which doesn't surprise me because we also have Mars, which is the ancient ruler of Scorpio. Mars is going to be moving into analytical Gemini that day. And so paying attention to what brings the joy, what brings the beauty in your life. When you look at this picture, what do you see? Right? So when I looked at this picture, for the longest time, all I saw were like these I don't know, flowers, these poppies, the butterfly. And then one day when I was looking at it, I'm like, oh my God, it's a face. So it's about perception and reflecting on, that judgment word, they just keep throwing it at me today, which is really weird because, we've already had the full moon, but we're in the energy of it. So this need to not allow others, when others are judging you and you take on that energy, just remember that you are the things that they are insecure about, the things that they have traumas in, that's what they feel better. People feel better in general when they're in their lower energy, vibrational energy. To feel better, they oftentimes will look around and go, well, but I'm better than that, or I'm better than those, or I'm better than whatever. And so then they project these energies out, but those aren't helpful to anybody. And so put a shield around yourself. You see how there's like this, oh wow, this is the most interesting thing. I've never seen this before. Okay, so this is like this big shield of protection that you put around yourself, where you say, what other people's traumas are can't touch me. I release them from my life. I'm going to let that flow through. That has got nothing to do with me. All right, so you have, where are you allowing yourself to carry the burden of others? Look at this guy. He is just like carrying somebody else on his back, trying to create stability for someone else, and it's so much weight to bear. But if you remember that you are the alchemist of your life, you are the creator of your life, this choice, this thing that lights you up, this is you stepping into your power. You have the power to create the life that you want to live. And so now it's the time. Now is the time to make those choices. Now is the time. I can see this with this. So, that moon's going to be opposing Uranus, and it's going to be squaring off with Saturn and Mercury and Jupiter. It's a very busy moon on Wednesday as Mars is shifting signs. And so there's just all this energy around this tension around this choice. There's tension around this choice. And how are you going to choose the boundaries and the structures that allow you to create and to expand your life in the direction that you want to go. On Thursday, the moon is going to be in a really beautiful supportive energy with Neptune, and Neptune is about your dreams. Now, this happens at 1:30 in the morning on Thursday morning Eastern time, and so in the overnight hours, really paying attention to what it is that you are dreaming about, and so this is that energy right here, finding the beauty. This is about finding the beauty in your life, recognizing it in your dream time, when you sleep, when you're awake, and making choices that carry you in that direction. On Thursday afternoon, the moon is going to move into Sagittarius. This is when you remember you are resilient. This big old heavy load of looks like baggage, it is sprouting new things. Like, do you want to carry all that though? This is that energy of what are you carrying around? Setting that down, it will grow on its own. You don't need to. Everything and everyone is resilient. And so this person, this situation, this job, this whatever this is that you're carrying around this extra weight on will probably survive just fine without you. Don't need to break your back for something else. When you set that down, and I want you to notice what that person is wearing and what this person is wearing, and it seems like the same person to me, right? Once you set that down, and then you have the ability to step up and step into your power and reach for what it is that you want to go. But now you've learned things. There's wisdom that comes from experience that cannot be gained any other way. And so there's nothing wrong with the choices that you made that led you to where you are now. It's what did you learn from that? How do you bounce back from that? What is the knowledge? And what do you do now? How do you step up and step into your own life and start taking control of what you want? Wow, look at this. You got that. It's not for you. I have never, when I've discussed this card, ever talked about putting that down. Never. There's just energy I feel here. There's Scorpio. There is something that needs to be let go of because it's just not for you. So when you're making this choice, choose what makes your heart sing. Choose what lights you up. Is it a new idea, a job change, a relationship change, a living situation change? Maybe you just don't like the town you live in and you're looking for something new. I'm not sure. But I do know that this time with COVID, where we're all been shut down and we've been locked in with certain people, it has shown the light on what works in our life and what doesn't. I mean, it's been hard to avoid it. And so a lot of people are noticing things and making changes accordingly. So putting structures around your dreams and desires, making yourself a plan, sitting down and writing it out. Allow yourself to create this kind of atmosphere, because on Friday, with that wisdom, when you're going through this wisdom phase, the moon is going to be in that supportive energy now with Saturn and Jupiter and Mercury. So Saturn likes to build the structures. Jupiter says, how can I expand it? And Mercury is, how do I communicate it? And I think it starts with communicating to yourself. So writing it down. Maybe you need to make a phone call. Maybe you need to start sending emails. Maybe you need to start sending out job applications. Maybe you need to contact a real estate agent. There's something that you need to do that requires something around communication in order to grow this. But there have been these challenges and these beliefs that have come along the way, and they have taught you so much. And so how do you stand in the power of what you have learned and grasp for your dreams? And so this is your opportunity to grow your soul in the direction that you want to go, to make this really important choice and decision. On Saturday evening at 9:20 p.m., the moon is going to move into Capricorn. And Capricorn, again, like structure. And within the next day or so, that moon is going to come into conjunction with Pluto that rules your sign, that wants you to make this transformation. And so as you do this out-of-the-box thinking, as this moon is going to pass through its beautiful supportive aspect with Uranus in Taurus, so how do we create a structure and change things in order to manifest what we want? Because the moon is also going to sextile Venus, and Venus is in Pluto, and so again, this Venus and Pluto sextiling the moon is the lover's choice. It is about making a choice. It's supporting a choice and a decision to be made. And then that moon is going to come in contact with Pluto, and Pluto is going to be like, seriously, what are you going to do about this? How are you going to start moving your life in the direction you want? So take a look at your life when you're reflecting and be grateful for the people and the supportive things and the lessons and the wisdom and the soul growth. But be willing to let go of the heavy burdens that do not serve. They're holding you back. It's not for you. It's not for you. I can't get the right light so you can see this. It's there we go, Chinese fortune cookie. It is not for you. All right, I'm going to get you one more piece of advice here with that energy around that structure and what is the best way for you to create abundance by working with these very supportive energies and these choices that you're making, and something that might guide you. And then we'll take a look at the mantra to guide you. Okay, I love this. Perfect. You have attracting, not chasing. Anything or anyone you chase after will run the other way because of the fear underlying the chasing energy. Instead, attract to you what you need by sending out love, gratitude, and welcoming energy. Part of having welcoming energy is creating space for it. I often, okay. So welcoming energy, right? If you're single and you're like, I really want to attract a relationship into my life, clear out a piece of the closet or a drawer, a space where someone could leave a few things at your place. If you are looking to create financial abundance, well, then you go through and you clear some of your debts out. Like, go through and say, okay, but how can I structure payment schedule so I can pay down maybe just this one piece of the debt structure so that I can start attracting abundance? There needs to be a place for it to go. So this is about moving energy. It's all energy moving around and creating what it is that you desire through releasing and letting go and being grateful for the lessons along the way. So that Lover's card, the mantra for it is, my heart is open to deeply meaningful relationships and expand into this union with loving trust. My heart is open to deeply meaningful relationships, and I expand into this union with loving trust. So you can write that down and you can put it on the mirror and you can use it. And let's take a look at that Ace of Wands. It's such a beautiful card. Ace of Wands says, I seed my brilliant future with the roots of creativity and inspiration. And so in order to get there, create some space. Release what you need to and make the choice that makes your heart sing. All right, you guys, I will be back here next week. I've got mid-months coming up and also the weekly, so it'll be fun. All right, you guys take care. Be thoughtful. Make the decision that speaks to your heart. We'll chat soon.